digging tunnels underneath their own church. I guess it makes sense. Nobody really comes here. Museo isn't exactly known for its pious people.
Easy to get away with. Though I have to say, it's pretty ironic, the rebellion settling in the Triumvirate's church.
A bit poetic, isn't it? Maybe after this we can settle in their castle.
One step at a time. Let's not get carried away. I'll write them and let them know what we found. After all these years, I'm not sure how to feel.
Relieved, with a side of being terrified. At least that's how I feel about all of this. Finding another spirit idol. This changes everything.
I always assumed that was the idol, at the altar. It was always so dim. We just thought that it was dying, but it was receiving power from something deep underground. It's nice to know that the theories were correct. The search was starting to feel like a lost cause.
The only lost cause is their pursuit of conquest. Let them know what you found. Let's get things started.
What are you planning, Domek?
I'll let you know tomorrow if everything goes well. I have to prepare for the arrival of our special guest, but trust me, I've put a lot of thought into this plan.
You've earned my trust.
It won't be long until the Triumvirate sends their forces. If I'm lucky, they might even come to see it for themselves. Right now, they're busy with Valenorth. But by the time they reroute, my army will be in place. When they set foot underground, we'll kill them all. Sophie, explain yourself immediately. You told me to wait in the castle atrium. If I did that, you would have left without me.
Oh, did I really say that? I'm sorry. I must have gotten carried away with our prisoner. How did your meeting with the Triumvirate go, Halen?
They refused to tell me these secrets. Something about my loyalty not being strong enough.
Well, look at it this way, Halen. The mission we're going on is very important. No better way to prove your loyalty to the cause.
I guess you're right, but I don't like being left in the dark.
Then you'll get along great with Shane. He's been pestering me with questions all day.
I don't fraternize with prisoners.
Whatever you say.
You know, we have a long boat ride ahead of us. Might not be a bad time to start fraternizing.
Did I stutter, Shane? Leave me be.
Oh, you think you're better than me, right? Well, here's some food for thought, apprentice. You're more a prisoner to the Triumvirate than I am.
What did you just say?
Neither of us will know true freedom. We're nothing but a means to an end. They'll kill you the moment you disobey. We have no choice but to follow orders. The difference is, you do this willingly. I have no idea why. You seem smart to me.
Hey Zamira, what's work like?
It's a lot less exciting than you'd think. They advertise it as a position of power, busting smugglers and protecting Valenorth.
And it's not like that.
No, not at all. I spend most of my day standing around. Crime in Valenorth is almost non-existent.
Because the spirits have blessed us, right?
I guess that's one popular theory. But to be honest, I don't buy it. Spirits can't change our nature.
Nature.
Deep down inside, we're all evil. Some of us just manage it better than others. We all have our impulses. It's about controlling them.
What an odd outlook.
Hey, don't deny your impulses, Valessa. If you had to steal to get by, you'd do it. Valenorth is just special. Resources are everywhere. Mazeo has been almost completely deforested. You can't just go into the forest and find food. There's not enough natural running water either.
See, I didn't know that.
I don't blame you. Everyone in Valenorth is happy. Nobody is scraping by, you know? Imagine if food was scarce. There'd be a lot more people breaking the law. Stealing it, hurting others for it, you name it.
How do you know about all of this?
I've been to Mazeo a couple of times. Trust me, the guards there have it much harder. They don't even know if they'll survive their shifts.
Oh. Wow.
So when I say the post here in Valenorth is boring, I'm not really complaining, to be honest. I'd much prefer boring work to, dying.
Hey, Zamira, about those antlers.
What about them?
You ever, hit them on a doorway? I mean, you can't be fully aware of them all the time. Yo, have you ever accidentally hit someone else with them?
I'm about to.
Whoa, okay, backing off. I was just curious. I've always wondered. How do you put a shirt on each morning?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't really slip clothes over your head. Those things would tear through any fabric.
I don't really have anything that slips over my head. I only wear things I can put my arms inside of first. Like button-ups or vests.
Right. I guess that makes sense. Sorry for annoying you. Please don't hit me.
Of course. I'll do my best for Tem, but I'm not responsible for any accidents.
Hey. Yeah, of course I do. If I become elder, then Fortum can take over as your scribe. It seems like the logical course of action, doesn't it? We need to figure out how to save Valenorth. After the attack, we can rebuild from the ashes. But I also want to solve our problem with the spirits. Once we restore our connection, we'll be fine. After that, it's just a matter of what we do with our nation. I'm not really a fan of what Milos and his father did. I don't know, but if it's possible, I'll do it. I'll look for reading material when we get to Mazeo. Or if we ever find ourselves in Baltus, there's the Grand Library. Remember, that power still exists within you. After we defeat the Triumvirate, it won't just vanish. There must be a way to put it back into the spirit idol. Nothing is impossible, It's just something people say when they don't want to try. If we put all of our effort into it, we can save Valenorth. Well, they sacrificed Valenor's independence. That was the one thing that set us apart, made us unique. If we lose that, we lose Valenor's very soul. I want to keep our line of seers going. We can't lose our heritage. I'd ensure that we remain nonpartisan, just like always. Look at all the trouble these alliances have given us. Strength doesn't come from numbers, though. It comes with the ability to be ourselves, to express what's inside. Without our independence, we're no different from anyone else. Our line of seers would lose meaning. Our forests would be cut down. After a few decades, we'd be no different from Mazeo. We can't lose this beauty. I'll fight to keep it safe. What? Why would you say something like that? It's not like you to give up so easily. We'll come back from this stronger than ever. In fact, I'm so certain I'm changing the subject. I refuse to talk about such negative things. Maybe a couple of hours if we walk fast. It's a longer trek from there to Mazeo, though. I've never been, but I've seen maps and read books. It's not exactly my kind of place. I've never had the urge to drink ale or wine, let alone the urge to walk such a long distance. It's not that I won't. I just don't feel compelled to. Maybe I'll feel different when we actually get there. I feel like we have more pressing matters at hand. Besides, I already had a toast with Fortum and Valinor. So, if you wanted to drink something special, we already did. I guess it was a scribe meeting. Sorry you weren't included. What about it? They usually are. It's not like an argument between us is anything new. With a few minutes to cool off, everything will be fine. Besides, we all know what the right choice is. I'm the most qualified person in Valinor to replace Milas. Fortum is trained to replace me. It just seems natural. Oh, of course I am. I work with Milas almost every day. I know exactly what he does. In a way, he trained me. Just like his father trained him. If you chose Fortum, there could be a learning curve. That, and I don't think he's fully qualified. Make sure not to tell him that. He'll freak out. His contact with Milas was minimal compared to mine. If he took over, he'd need to be trained from the ground up. But if Milas is retiring, I don't think he'd be willing to teach. And with no teacher, you need to find somebody already trained. I have a pretty good idea of what Milas does. I saw him every day. So I'm trained and ready to lead. Seems like an easy choice, right? I'm not sure about that, actually. It would be counterproductive, though. You already have two perfect candidates. We're high up on Valinor's ladder. Not many people are. I also think that the villagers would support both of us. It seems like a natural succession of power to me. I've been thinking about that, actually. Not just you, Dominic as well. Only a seer of Valinor can have visions. Is there more to Dominic than we know? Or is there more to the blade than we know? I'd say it's the energy inside of you, but Dominic doesn't have that. Or does he? Basically, none of this makes any sense to me. We're watching the laws of Alestia be remade for us. So, if you're asking me for an answer, I really don't know. It's something we have to learn as we venture forward. But I have a feeling that this blade changes everything.
Hey. Wait, is this like a job interview or something? I've never been very good at selling myself. First and foremost, though, I'd reconnect with the spirits. That way, Valinor wouldn't freeze over. A lot of people forget it's the spirits that keep us warm. After that, I guess I'd focus on what to do with the people. Actually, I'm not too sure about that. But we're about to go on a huge journey. I'll make sure to pay attention along the way. If the connection can be taken away, it can be given back. There's nothing that says this is a one-way street. So take care of that power until we can put it back. That's the spirit! Saving Alestia comes first, but Valenorth is still important. There has to be a way to do both at the same time, you know? Well, we have an important choice to make. We can follow after Milas and drop our independence, or we can distance ourselves from the other nations. Like always. Right now, I think unity is important. If I were the Elder, I'd band our world together. We could live in harmony and trade freely. I know I hate the trade ban they put on Mazeo, but this isn't personal. Lifting those bans and uniting the nations would create peace. Isn't that our goal at the end of this, Seer? Awesome! I'm glad you agree. The rebellion is founded on unity, and it's strong. Each nation on its own would stand no chance of winning. The Triumvirate won't be the last threat Alestia faces. It's stupid to think that we'd have an eternal peace. We can't band together now only to split up after. You mean like cleaning and climbing trees? I guess you're right, but I like to do more than that. I always say that making people smile is my favorite. So if my work could keep an entire village happy? Well, I couldn't think of a better job if I tried. I want to be more than just a scribe in training. Really? I'm glad to hear that. I always felt like I was meant for something more. When I heard about this opening, I knew right away. This is my calling. I'm sure of it. Just keep that in mind when you make the final choice. I'm not sure when that'll be, but I'm ready. I'm positive. She's doing a fine job as your scribe. Having me as the Elder would utilize my full potential. I don't mean to brag, but I spend a lot of time with Milas. As a scribe in training, I'm just held back. I don't think I'll ever need to take Valessa's position, so why not let me take another position instead? Look, all I ask is that you think about it, all right? At the end of the day, we're the two best candidates. There's no election here. The choice will rest upon you. He's pretty cool, and I dig the antlers. I can't believe I've never spent more time with him. But it makes sense, if he's always guarding the gate. Valessa seems to know more about him, actually. I guess he'll be coming with us to Mazeo? Milas is going to evacuate everybody soon. Yeah, totally. I hope he sticks with us for a while. I mean, he's a guard, so he could easily fight with us. Right now, we need all the help we can get. But even if he doesn't join, I'm grateful for his help. There's no way we'd make it to Peregrino on our own. Well, the surroundings are still pretty familiar. I expect it'll hit me harder once we get to Mazeo. I know it'll be different, but is that good or bad? There's one thing that worries me about all of this, though. We may very well run into the man that killed our parents, whether it's this Sovi guy or the General of Mazeo. It could even be one of those empty suits of armor, actually. The thing is, I won't know what to do when I see them. I could cry and run away, or be overtaken with rage. Don't let me do anything stupid, all right? I'm counting on you to help keep me in line. Thanks, Seer. I know I can always count on you. It's gonna be scary, but we'll face it together.
Whoa. This is amazing. I can't believe something like this was so close.
And look at the spirit idol! That's so cool! Even if it's not lit up, it's still beautiful.
Milas said it went dark when the seer was born. I can't believe all that energy is inside of you.
Hey! Race you to the idol, Valessa!
Hey, that's not fair! I can't believe we've lost our connection with the spirits. There must be some way to get it back, right?
Are you sure we lost it, though? It's still here, just inside of the seer.
I'm pretty sure it's not that simple. This idol has roots that reach all across Valinor. As far as I know, the seer doesn't have any roots.
Well, maybe there's a way to put the energy back. You know, after we've taken down the triumvirate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe this is only temporary, and they'll come back. The seers won't need the power after we've won, right?
What? No fair! How did you beat me?
Even with a head start, you're no match for me. Time to throw in the towel. Stick to climbing trees.
Oh? So you want to have a climbing race?
I'll pass, thanks.
Wait, why?
A smart person doesn't pick a battle they know they'll lose. I'm surprised you challenged me, Fortum. You know how fast I am.
Are you calling me stupid?
No, I'd never do that. Anyway, isn't the spirit idol beautiful?
That's putting it lightly. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. When it's lit up, it must be incredible.
Yeah, I'd pay almost any price to see that. But don't worry, Fortum. I'm sure there's something we can do. If we all work together, we can make that idol shine again.
Well, looks like we're finally here. It wasn't that bad, was it?
Not as bad as I thought it'd be.
My legs are a little sore, but I'll manage. I know we're far from home, but this still feels like Valinor. I guess maybe I expected something a little different.
Just wait until you see the outlook, Valessa.
The outlook?
You can almost see the entirety of Alestia. As soon as there's no trees in the way, you'll be amazed. It's easy to forget we're on top of the highest mountains.
So, we're not surrounded by trees the entire way to Mazeo?
Absolutely not. Even aside from the deforesting, trees are scarce. It makes for a beautiful view. I'm sure you'll love it.
Right. I guess you're in your own schedule now. You only had to bring us to Peregrino.
I'm not about to ditch you, though. Now head inside. Feel free to follow along. It won't be too hard to find Pro. Trust me.
Well, I guess this is it. As soon as we meet with Pro, we're off to Mazeo.
Wait, did you say Pro?
What?
Well, what do you know? It's you. Kind of makes my job a whole lot easier.
Wait, you know us?
Just the seer.
Then you must be.
Ulrich! From the vision!
Excuse me?
Yeah, you were in the vision that the seer had last night.
Huh. Haven't even met, and I'm already in your dreams. That has to be some kind of new personal record.
He said you died, Ulrich. Something about a man named Sovi?
You sure are good at first impressions, little one.
I'm not little!
Is he telling the truth, Seer? Well, I guess I'll have to loosen you up a little. Maybe we'll grab a drink while we meet up with Pro. After that, we have to go evacuate Valinor, and quick.
Actually, Miles is taking care of that. The village is gathering for a celebration tonight. The perfect time to group up and escape, right?
Really? I'm starting to wonder why I'm even here. Either way, Pro and I will take you to Domek. I'm glad to hear this vision of yours won't come to pass. Shall we get things started? Unless you want to talk more, I'm up.
Whenever you're ready, Seer. Seems like we have a lot ahead of us.
Why did the Honor Guard do all of this? They single-handedly sheltered and armed our forces.
Damek, sir. Everything is going according to plan. Our forces have started to relocate.
Ha! Perfect timing, Vance. I just received the deed from Grizz. It took some convincing, but I did it.
Wait, you didn't already have the deed? Why were we moving everybody down here?
Oops, you didn't hear anything, all right. Besides, I knew I could win him over. This was just a bit of a head start. And cut the formalities, call me Dormek. We've been through enough. This isn't about rank. I think of us all as a family, not an army.
Of course, Damek. I'm amazed at our new HQ, to be honest. How did you secure all of this stuff?
It wasn't me, Vance. The Honor Guard was planning a long stay. They're responsible for everything you see.
You mean those things? Why would they build stuff they have no use for? They can't really fight, and they have no need for sleep.
They must have known someone would use it. Either way, the Triumvirate doesn't know about this. Their own Honor Guard is defying orders, it would seem.
So there's discord among them? Never thought we'd live to see that.
Yeah, but it also proves the Triumvirate isn't all-knowing. There's no way they'd let this happen if they were. They're just like us. We can take them down. That is, if we're strong enough.
It's a spar you want?
Just need to make sure you haven't gotten sloppy. As soon as the Triumvirate finds out, a fight is coming.
Don't worry, Damek. I'm ready.
Wow, Ulrich, it's so big!
Yeah, I get compliments on it all the time.
Can I touch it?
Of course you can. Just be gentle, though.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought!
You might want to use both hands. And tighten your grip a little bit.
Like this?
A little bit lower.
Oh, sure. How about now?
There you go, that's more like it. Now, swing that sword with all your might. Whoa! Watch what you're doing! You could have killed me, kid!
I'm so sorry. I've never used a great sword before.
I feel like we should keep it that way. Hey. Absolutely. I'd recognize that thing anywhere. I'm surprised you have it out in the open like that. We went through such great lengths to hide it. About the Blade of Exodus? It's extraordinary. I have no idea where it came from or the full range of its power. It can repurpose life into an energy that serves the wielder. That gear at the base can spin, which should be impossible. It's almost like some parts of the blade exist in a different world. I'm starting to think that's the case. Where else would it store all that power? It's practically cheating. Whoever wields it has infinite power. I don't think of the triumvirate as gods, they were just abusing this weapon. Now that they don't have it, taking them down should be child's play. I have no idea, and I don't think we'll ever find out. It must tap into a person's spirit before it enters the spirit realm. That's the only non-physical part of us that could be considered energy. I'm assuming they've always had it. It's how they came to power. Some people seem to think they used the blade to create our entire world. Not many people know about it though, and they see the triumvirate as gods. And they really aren't. They're just men who came upon a greater power. And now we have that greater power. We can rule Alestia far better than them. I think we should destroy that blade after we win. It's a tool of pure corruption. It wasn't too long ago, maybe half a year. The rebellion planned an attack. Our previous leader planned it down to even the smallest detail. Steal the blade, map out their castle, and pave way for our future liberation. I'll be honest, he knew he was going to die. He used his final moments to get the blade. Some people think it's a little fishy. How could we win so easily? Did they let us win? I don't think it's that deep. They just didn't expect our leader to effectively commit suicide. I was. Change the subject. I'm sure you won't. I don't think any of us will. The scope of his planning went farther than I could have imagined. Being the Elder of Valenorth, he planned every aspect of your involvement. I guess breaking Valenorth's non-partisan stance made perfect sense to him. Every little piece was in place. The liberation of Alestia was finally attainable. I just hope that you're everything you thought you'd be. Wielding that blade isn't easy. He already is, and I'm happy to serve him. Things are going swimmingly. It helps that he was one of the founding members of the rebellion, too. At that point, though, he was too young to lead. Things are different now. He's done a fine job of honoring our leader's legacy and guiding us to victory. He had to make a few hard decisions, but I trust his judgment without question. Everything is going according to plan. Our final assault is all we need. Wait, he used the Blade of Exodus on me? That's impossible. There's no way he'd be able to wield it. You're the only one. Even Dominic nearly died the first time he touched it. I'm still surprised, though. He had a small vision when he did. Perhaps he has some spiritual energy inside of him. Either way, hopefully I went out in a blaze of glory. Yeah, that sounds like me. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm just thankful that this vision won't come to pass. I have a lot of life left in me. That makes me wonder, though. What was the purpose of seeing something like that? I can understand a vision of Valenorth being attacked, but seeing me and watching me die? We've never even met. How is it possible to know what I look like and how I act? I know the spirits give visions of the future, but that's so specific, and it won't happen. Sylvie is an incredibly strong adversary, even without the blade. But if he's able to wield it, we better make sure it never enters his hands. His strength, coupled with that blade. I don't scare easily, but that's terrifying. There's no way he should be able to. I imagine even you're having trouble. It's not meant for just anybody to wield. You need an incredible spiritual connection. Dominik might have a small one, but Sophie? A man like that has no connection to the spirits. Hard to say. That depends on your ability to wield it. The Triumvirate had that blade for an eternity. You don't have that much time. Not to put too much pressure on your shoulders, it's just the truth. Yeah, but you also saw me die, right? These visions aren't as reliable as I've been led to believe. Rather than seeing the future, it's almost like it shows you what to avoid. Too bad we can't avoid what's coming to Valenorth. When Dominik touched the blade, he saw Valenorth fall and the rebellion win. It seems like he's embracing what he saw. Good thing you're not, or else I'd be dead. You mean how do I feel without our most valuable assets? Pretty terrible. Without visions to guide us and the power of that blade, we'd be dead. There's no way we could take them down through conventional means. However, at the moment, everything is in our favor. Everything. We just need to be careful. Do not let the Triumvirate or Sophie take that blade back. If we can do that, victory is as good as ours. A new future will rise to greet Alestia. Scary is an understatement, but I've never been more certain of our victory. Dominik is pretty excited to meet you, actually. You're going to help us win this war. I'm fully aware of that. It'll take some training to get used to it. When we get to Museo, Dominik will place you under a strict training regimen. You need to get as much practice as possible before we launch our attack. Of course, and I'm glad you look at it that way. Practice makes perfect. We can't expect you to use it immediately. Just do your best to be careful. You know what that thing is capable of. I'll pass, thanks. Dominik was able to use it only for a brief second. Any longer than that and he would have died. I think this one rests on your shoulders alone. And yet, here we are. Let's just go with the flow. No use fighting what's set in stone. Well, the rebellion was formed around 20 years ago. Survivors of the occupation banded together and sought justice. Adults trained orphaned children to create the perfect soldiers. A long time has passed, and now the children are old enough to fight. And they've been perfectly trained, almost their only purpose. Dominik was one of these children. The previous leader raised him as his own. Obviously, I'm a little older. I wasn't a victim of the occupation. When it happened, I was just arriving in Museo to sell my sword on. I moved here from Alarinthia as soon as I had the chance. Imagine wanting to get a new start and arriving in the middle of a war zone. That's pretty much what happened. So I did what anybody else would do. I joined the winning side, the Triumvirate, with the hopes of making money. It was going well, but then I realized they were killing children. I turned on them as quickly as I joined them, fighting for Museo. I was one of the first rebels. Got to watch Dominik grow up firsthand. That's purely subjective, but I happen to think you're right. The Triumvirate needs to be taken down or held accountable for what they did. Leaders should never get a free pass to commit atrocities. Never. I'm sure there's been insurrections in the past. There must have been. But the thing about us is that we have the Blade of Exodus. our victory. He's a good man. I've watched him grow into a capable soldier. He always has this way of being happy no matter the odds. Even if we lost almost every rebel, he'd find a way to keep us going. Cracking a joke or two is always in his nature, even in grim circumstances. It can lighten the mood, that's for sure. Nothing is worse than low morale. That's probably what he's best at, keeping the soldiers happy and motivated. I feel the same way. I'm confident that he'll lead us to victory. Absolutely. Everybody lost something special that day. Families were torn apart. Many people lost the will to live. A lot of the children only wanted one thing: revenge. And a lot of the adults saw one thing: an army ripe for training. They banded together, and the rebellion slowly became what it is today. We are finally strong enough to do something, and that's special. Really? That's news to me. What a bad day to be in Museo. I guess it makes sense, though. You look like you carry purpose. You'll fit right in. I'm sure almost every rebel could relate. Yeah, the bulk of the victims were children who lost their parents. Fast forward some 20-odd years and they're grown men and women. Nobody would send children to war. It was important to wait and train. What else were we supposed to do? It's not like we forced them. They wanted to fight, to be trained, and we wanted an army. We were able to achieve unity and grow into the force we've become. Yeah, think about it for a moment. Without them, we'd stand no chance. Some people think their future was stolen, but if we win, we can get it back. No occupations, no families being torn apart. That's the true purpose of it all.